Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We had a little technical glitch there, and that sometimes happens with electronics, but we got a great team at GCN covering, and it looks like we got things back on track. Friday, June 13th, 2014. That's right, Friday the 13th. And apparently, we got a full moon tonight as well, so if I'm acting a little bit weird, it's the moon. So if you remember a little while back, I was following this story of Justina Pelletier, okay, and if you're unfamiliar with it, she was diagnosed with a rare mitochondrial disease in Massachusetts, and that induces muscle weakness, loss of coordination, and she was diagnosed by an MD at Tufts Medical Center in Boston, and she was using prescribed medication for her situation. And she was leading a somewhat normal life. Despite the condition, she was able to go figure skating and do all the things that, you know, a normal teenage girl would do. Well, her parents took her to Boston Children's Hospital because she had the flu. The medical team there decided that her diagnosis from Tufts was bogus and that she was suffering from a mental disorder known as somatoform disorder. This mental disorder is an all-in-your-head scenario to explain inexplicable physical manifestations among young people, and is treated with extensive psychotherapy. Now, I'd just like to repeat what I said. They use it to describe or explain things that they can't explain. Okay? If we don't know what we're doing, and we can't figure out what's wrong with you, obviously, you're the one with the problem, because we're smarter than God. I went to college. So, they wanted to give her psychotherapy for this, you know, whatever's wrong with you, it's all in your head. Her parents wanted to take her home, and they promptly phoned the Department of Children and Families and accused the parents of negligence. So, this girl is in state custody, away from her family. They're allowed to visit her once a week. Once a week, that's their daughter. Well, the whole country was in an outrage over this. I mean, people were angry, phoning Boston Children's Hospital, calling, Children's Department of Children and Families. Now, in the meantime, during one of their visits, Justina got an idea to make an appeal to the public on YouTube, and we've got a sound clip of that, and this is going to break your heart. Okay, this is from, I believe, CBS Boston, but we're going to roll that clip for you, and when you hear this girl begging to be with her family, if you don't have a broken heart, you ain't got one. Let's roll that clip.
Including the good doctor. We are hearing for the very first time from a Connecticut teenager at the center of an interstate custody battle as she awaits a judge's decision on whether to send her home. Massachusetts child welfare officials are asking a Bay State judge to return Justina Pelletier to her parents because they've met the conditions asked of them. She was placed under state care more than a year ago after her parents took her to a Boston hospital, saying she suffered from a rare disorder. Doctors there, however, concluded her condition was due to a psychological issue and said they suspected the parents of medical child abuse. They kept that kid. And it's not clear when the judge will rule in this case to return her back. But Justina has made a video, and it is going viral online.
All I really want to be with is with my family and my friends, and that's all I want is just to be with my family and friends back home where I want to do it. Right now, you can do it. You're the one that's judging this. Please let me go home, Judge Johnson and Governor Patrick. Please, right now. Please let me go home right now. I need to be home with my family.
Wow. And we're all taking a deep breath as we watch that. Ainsley, what are your first impressions to this video?
I think let the little girl go home. The parents say they didn't abuse her. She's clearly begging to go home. She's 15 years old. Those are great years, high school years. She's missing out on that, and this is all in the judge's hand. Now, if there is evidence of abuse, hey, don't send her home. But I trust that the judge will investigate and make sure that everything's okay and safe at the home. But it sounds like it is.
What a saga. 16 months ago, they went into the ER on a snowy night in Boston. This is your home area. You know this family. Take us inside the story, Doc.
I do. I had dinner with the Pelletiers. I know Lou Pelletier. People might describe him as a forceful fellow, but there is nothing that comes across over a dinner with him and his daughters and his wife that alarmed me, and I'm a pretty sensitive listener. And look, this could happen to you or to me. It's not about the Pelletiers. It's about Boston's Children's Hospital, where, by the way, they disagreed with New England Medical Center. New England Medical Center said this girl has mitochondrial disease, a physical condition, confines her to a wheelchair at times, has a host of other symptoms, and they said, no, it's psychological. It's called somatoform disorder. It's all in her head, and the parents are probably psychologically involved, and we're keeping her. And they kept her for 16 months.
Yeah.
This could happen to you if you bring your child with Lyme's disease or fibromyalgia to Boston's Children's Hospital, and some bright doc says, you know what, I don't think so. This hospital has a history of not respecting parental rights, in my opinion. We won't get Fox News into this. In my opinion, they don't respect parental rights, and they're the leading edge of helping the state take your kids.
You know what's interesting, Katie, in all of this? Lawmakers locally there have gotten involved, and I'm curious if politicians can play any kind of a successful role in something like this, because this is medical.
I think that they can play a successful role in giving parents back their rights, and parents have been seeing their rights go away. And one thing I want to point out is that there's been this question of abuse at the home at the center of this controversy, but what about the abuse by the state? This little girl got sicker during that 16 months she was in the care of the state, which was supposed to be taking a better job, better care of her.
Why is she in a wheelchair still?
And yet she is sicker now than she was when they took her away from the parents. So lawmakers, if they're going to get involved, the way that they can help is to give parents back their rights, because parents know what is the best for children. As she says in that video, she says, I want to be home with my family. She's not saying, let me stay here with the state that's taken such great care of me.
How is it that they could see such a different diagnosis and a psychological one and not a physical one?
Well, look, reasonable medical professionals can disagree. There are some folks who might see a case of Lyme's disease perhaps and say, well, I don't know. I think that's really depression, or I think that this is really more psychological than it can be physical. But the point is, it's a debate. And to assert you know so well that it's psychological that you're going to take a kid from her family, that's quite a leap of faith. And don't forget, it takes place in Massachusetts, where the governor, talk about lawmakers, Deval Patrick, threatened to jail people who drive during snowstorms. So if you think they're going to respect your rights in his state and stand up for the Pelletiers, you get another thing coming.
Well, we've seen the Division of Child and Family Services take side now.
So she was getting sick or under their custody, and they were so full of hubris and pride that they couldn't let the girl go, even in her best interests. Okay, so after being state custody, she ended up back in a wheelchair after she was just fine. I'm telling you, if you have kids and they're not sick, you're a fool to not take steps to make sure that they don't stay that way. Well, that's what we do here at Youngevity and on the Fire Your MD Now radio show. We give you practical, affordable, easy solutions to keep your health in check based on the work of Dr. Joel Wallach. Now, speaking of Dr. Joel Wallach, he is going to be in Dallas tonight. That's right. Dr. Joel Wallach is going to be in Dallas. And I'm going to get you some details on that and bring them up. Speaking of Texas, we're going to go over to Savami in Texas. Savami, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, this is Savami.
How are you?
Well, I'm fine, but my blood sugar, I just took it 385.
Oh, okay.
It's been over 3 months.
It's been over 3 months, so you want to get your blood sugar back under control, and I'm gonna give you a real easy way to do that right after this break. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. We'll be back with Savami right after this. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip coming at you live from central Alberta in the beautiful little town of Camrose. And growing up, I thought it was kind of boring around here, but as I get older, I really love this town, and the people are just great. And specifically, I'd like to single out, too, Joey and Dennis, master deck builders, listening to the show. Father and son, beautiful way to spend the day. Absolutely excellent. Let's go back over to Savami in Texas. Are you still there, Savami?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay, so you got some high blood sugar happening. Let me ask you a question. Are you anywhere near Dallas?
Yes.
Okay, because Dr. Wallach's going to be speaking tonight at Familia Bethel International Church.
But my husband is ill, and he's the only one that can go with me. This is a dry town. I try knocking every door. Nobody wants to go with me.
Yeah. They don't know what they're missing, man. I tell you what, Dr. Wallach's presentation is unparalleled. But
I know, and I wanted to be there, but I'm sorry. He's going to be in Texas somewhere, 2 more places. So I'm going to try to see if I can get my husband well, so he can take me there.
Yeah, he's going to be in Addison, Texas, on the 14th.
14 Addison?
Tomorrow. Yeah, Addison, Texas, and that's at the Crown Plaza Hotel. And I can give you a phone number if you want for information on that. You got a pen?
Yeah.
619
619
888
888
7568.
7568.
All right, now let's talk about your blood sugar, okay?
Yes, I'm very worried.
Yeah, have you been using any longevity products, or are you just looking to get into it here?
I've already used too much, so that's what I wanted to let you know what I'm taking. Maybe the selenium is wrong, because when I took the selenium, my blood sugar just went sky high.
Yeah, selenium doesn't cause high blood sugar. In fact, there's a small amount of chromium and vanadium in the ultimate selenium, so that would help with it. Are you taking the sweeties?
I'm taking 3 sweeties, breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Okay, what I want you to do, Savami, is double that.
Okay,
that's what I would do if I was you.
So you want me to take 6 of each meal?
2 at each meal.
That's what I'm taking 3 of each meal.
3 at each meal right now?
Yeah.
Okay, what about the plant-derived minerals, Savami? Are you using them as well?
I'm using 1 ounce of morning and evening.
Okay, and this has been 2 months?
Yeah.
Okay, we got a saying, 90 for life, 90 days. You got to give it a little bit of time, Savami. How old are you?
I'm 70.
Yeah, so, your health has probably been in the weeds for a long time, and Rome wasn't built in a day. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'd like you to keep going with it, and if you can, get out to see Dr. Wallach in Addison. He might have some additional information for you, but if I was you, I would keep plugging away, keep doing what you're doing, and give it a little bit more time. I've seen absolute, almost what could be described as miracles with people in regards to type 2 diabetes. We had a girl that was shifting into type 1, and we caught her just in time. She was able to lay off the insulin, and that's what we'd like to see happen with you, Savami. So how did you hear about the show?
Through Benny Hinn. I'm a Christian, so I watched a Christian show, and he came on, Benny Hinn, and that's how I grabbed him. Because I don't believe doctors. And I know my doctor. I know my doctor is doing well, harming me instead of helping me. So I was looking for a way. The only thing, I didn't have any choice except to keep him because I have to take some thing to suppress it down because otherwise it's going out of whack. And so when I heard the Dr. Wallach, I grabbed it and I stay with it. I took everything off, anything that 10-bed food, fried food, oil, everything.
Good.
I only live with butter, a cream, boiled eggs, soft-boiled eggs.
That's great. You know what? That's all the advice that I would absolutely give you. All right, Savami, we're going to let you go. I appreciate you calling in. Keep doing what you're doing. And after this break, we're going to go and talk to Sue in Kansas about digestion issues. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden back after this. Welcome back. We're live on Fire Your MD Now Radio. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden on a real cloudy and windy day here in central Alberta. Before that break there, we were talking to a lady in Texas about blood sugar issues. Now, blood sugar issues can be overcome without drugs and surgery. That is our fundamental preposition here. And, you know, this is not new information. As far back as 1957, Dr. Walter Mertz was able to reverse type 2 diabetes in mice using chromium. Well, Dr. Wallach came along and formulated the perfect mix for you to take in the form of a pill that we call Sweeties, and it's chock full of chromium, vanadium, and cinnamon in order to deal with blood sugar issues. We're going to go over to Sue in Kansas. Sue, are you there, and can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
Sue. I'm doing great. I'm on longevity, and I've got lots of energy, and my wife thinks I'm awesome. And I'm hosting a show for the great Dr. Peter Glidden. Things couldn't be going better. What's up?
Well, I have two things. One is I have a couple questions for myself, and then a question or two for another friend that's got rheumatoid arthritis for bed. So
well,
my questions are about digestive system. I have gas, and I am not hungry very often. I'm hoping I'm getting enough protein, actually. All I eat is poached eggs, and I put ground up almonds and ground up flaxseed on it, and then I have some cheese during the day, farmer's cheese, and maybe some yogurt with some peach fusion and calcium in it. And that's all I'm hungry for. Is that bad?
Well, I mean, you know, your body wants certain things, and it's letting you know, right?
Yeah.
But if you're finding yourself getting real gassy, what are you? You're not taking the digestive enzymes or any of that?
I take an enzyme probably 10 minutes before I eat. Mm-hmm. One of those, it's a tablet, not a capsule. And I also am doing, I have a Baker's cyst also behind my left knee, so I do a lot of longevity. I do 15 glucogel a day. I do 6 selenium a day.
Okay, stop. Okay, you're getting gassy. I've seen this before, and it's most likely the glucogel caps that are the culprit.
Really?
Yeah, the same thing happened to somebody that I know.
Yes.
What I'd like you to try, Sue, is switching over to the liquid glucogel.
Okay.
Okay? Now, how you take that is 1 ounce per 50 pounds body weight.
Okay, I weigh 120.
Okay, so yeah, it wouldn't hurt you to do 3, but definitely 2. And if it's if it's still giving you gas and it's a problem, what you could do is take it before you go to bed. That way it's nobody but your husband's problem.
Well, no, I don't have a husband. That's okay.
Oh, well then, no worries.
Yes,
if you can live with yourself, then it's fine.
Liquid glucogel.
Yeah, try the liquid glucogel. Don't throw away your glucogel caps. Take them before bed.
Oh, take the glucogel caps before bed.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got some already. Don't stop taking them and throw them out. Just order up the liquid glucogel. Keep taking the caps, but do it before bed.
Okay. Because, I'm doing liquid gel for my Baker's cyst, and whatever other joint problems I have, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then what about if your eyesight seems to be getting, is Vision FX what I need to do?
For eyesight, yeah, antioxidants are big for your vision. Free radical damage can definitely affect that. So what you want to do is get a high ORAC score. ORAC stands for oxygen radical absorption capacity.
Okay.
Now, Vision FX is absolutely great for that, but there's a lot of ways that you can get a high ORAC score. There's the Cell Shield RTQ. RTQ stands for resveratrol, turmeric, and quercetin, and it absolutely stomps free radicals, and then your body can go on to fix the damage that they caused. Also, the Immortalium is absolutely fantastic. 4 Immortalium tabs a day will give you an ORAC score of about 10,500 points, and that ain't not a bad thing.
Okay.
All right,
now,
Sue, so yeah.
Now, if you, I mean, I'm not broke, but which is the most important of those things to do? Vision FX, Cell Shield RTQ, Immortality, and which would you do if you could just afford maybe one of those?
Okay, I would try the Vision FX first because you're probably already, what are the other products you're taking there, Sue?
I'm doing a bunch. I'm doing Peach Fusion, I'm doing the Healthy Pack 2.0, and I'm doing more than one a month just because I like this stuff a lot. And I'm also doing Ocean's Gold and Selenium, and I also have some collagen type 2 Neocell that I have left over from my other vitamin days. I'm doing DFA Plus, of course. And mostly what I'm doing that's costing me the most is I'm doing 15 glucogel a day. 5. So what I do is I would just do the 1 ounce of the liquid glucogel and then do maybe 5 in the evening before I go to bed.
You could do that. You could mix it up too. Yeah, maybe take 2 ounces of the liquid during the day, see how that treats you, and then pop another 5 if you want to get on top of joint pain. Then that would definitely be a good way to go.
Okay. All right. I'll do it.
All right, okay. And for your eyes, try the Vision FX, and if that's not getting any better, let us know back on the show here, and we'll suggest some ways that you can up your ORAC value. As far as the Cell Shield RTQ and the Immortalium go, the Cell Shield RTQ, I believe, costs about $30 a bottle. The Immortalium is around $60.
Yeah.
And you're going to get...
I'm also doing the CM cream, and I bought some CM capsules just for, because of inflammation in the body, which is what this Baker's cyst is. So I just bought some of that now. That's expensive stuff too.
How's it working for you?
Well, you know what? I've had this cyst now probably for, 5 or 6 months. And I know what happened. I was walking around on a pile of firewood and I felt it when I twisted it. And it didn't seem to bother me much, but it won't go away. But I'm pretty tough. I won't slow down any, but... Okay, now I have a question. This gentleman I know, he's probably late 60s, early 70s, and I've talked to him for 6 months ago about longevity, and he said, I've done... What is that thing that Dr. Wallach gives for rheumatoid arthritis that eats that bacteria?
That would be the killer biotic.
Okay.
Yeah, the killer biotic.
He took something. He even named it, whatever it is, not the killer biotic, but whatever's in the killer biotic, and he said it didn't help him at all. Well, I'm thinking his doctor gave him some placebo or something.
They're good at that.
So he asked me just this week if I wouldn't call and ask him what he should do, because I think he is, when he orders his chemicals and they're late, he can't even get out of bed for days because, he needs his pills so bad.
You know what? I'm dealing with so many guys in that age bracket that are dealing with bone and joint issues. It's just crazy. And we have a 62-year-old man here in town that came to my meeting last night, and he is absolutely 100% free of pain. And only just a few months ago, he couldn't even get out of bed. So
you're kidding? And he killed biotic is what he did, and that.
He took the killer biotic and he went heavy on the glucogel.
And now, did you give him the liquid?
I suggested to him to take the liquid. He still had the pills. He switched over, and, yeah, he got better fast.
I'll be doggone. Now, this man also has lupus. He also has lupus.
Lupus, okay, yeah, lupus. I saw a lady get over lupus in about 6 months up in Edmonton after the last few years back when Dr. Glidden visited. She was an ex-nurse. And lupus can absolutely be beaten. He's going to need a lot of antioxidants. And the man is going to need a lot of cholesterol and salt. But don't tell him to tell his doctor that because he'll have a heart attack.
The doctor will?
Yeah.
Well, that would be a good thing.
Well, who knows, right? But, no, I mean, you know, cholesterol deficiencies are killing us. And, since they've been telling people to lower their cholesterol, things have gotten bad. But, rather than reverse their position and admit they were wrong, they like to dig in and keep going. I actually know a woman in the town I live in. Her doctor wanted to talk to her aside from the visit they were having, so they met for coffee, and he told her, I want you to eat extra eggs and salt. And she said, you've been telling me not to eat those things my whole life. And he said, yeah, I have to meet you away from the clinic because I could lose my job for telling you this.
Oh, my.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. I mean, I'm not even allowed to come on this show and say that water cures dehydration.
Right.
That's how stupid things are. You can't say anything cures anything unless it's a drug, which doesn't cure anything. So, you got all these people on these pain medications, cortisone, prednisone, all these different, they're in the wrong zone. And we want to get them in the right one, get their health back without all the drugs that aren't helping. So this gentleman that's your friend. Okay, shoot.
How do you, when you do your meetings, because that's very intriguing to me, how do you show, because see, I don't own a computer, but I'm thinking about getting some kind of, I don't even know the talk, iPad or something, but I want to know how you show those webinars on a television, because I hear you on the show all the time saying, I signed up 22 people in a month, and then we had to get a bigger room, had to go to a different place, and I'm
it's
thinking
happening.
That's the way to, how do you show it on a TV?
Sue, I've got your number, okay? Here's the deal. Go over to fireyourmdnow.com, Dr. Glidden's website. He has a brand new set of DVDs, and there's an older set, too. You just order those up, and then you've got full sets of DVDs, have a meeting once a week, and advertise a little bit. I didn't even do much advertising. What happened was I just told the people in my group, in my downline, and they really picked up the ball and started running. We had a gentleman come last night. He's got 4 kids. His wife has lupus. His children are in bad shape, and we're going to sign him up tomorrow. And we're having a business, and I want you to also really learn the business, okay? Like learn how to build downlines, learn how to run the back office, and teach your people how to do that, because a lot of people are running around signing people up, and they're doing it wrong, and there's money being left under the table.
There's a lady that Dr. Glidden interviewed, and she, I was not at the time, I was brand new, I didn't have a notebook, now I write down everything. But she had, when she first heard Dr. Wallach's Dead Doctors Don't Lie, she's going to buy 10,000 copies of it, and she is like an executive in the company, and she's all about how to do that successfully, but I would buy whatever.
Yeah, listen, I hear the music coming up here, Sue. I'm going to bring you back on the other side, and we're going to discuss some little tricks that you can use to build your longevity business. Back after this, Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Welcome back. We're live. Mike Phillip filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden. Now, before the break, we were talking to Sue in Kansas and Celeste in Louisiana. You just hang on right where you're at. I see you, and we're going to get to you. But first, I want to discuss the business and marketing aspect of longevity. There's a number of ways you can do it, and there's a whole lot of people out there that are millionaires by helping people get their health back. Now, I've been holding meetings, and I'm going to tell you, Sue, how I started was I just went and talked to a little coffee shop owner, And see, here's the thing. Organic foods, don't eat processed foods, don't eat sugar. People are really getting conscious about what they eat these days. So I came in and I said, look, I want to set up meetings and show videos of a doctor out of Chicago and teach people how to get their health back without drugs and surgery. And she was just all over it. So, she told people that she knew. And in the beginning, we only had about 3 people in the room. But in a short matter of time, we had that place packed to the rafters. And like I say, we moved out now, got a bigger place. And now I'm going to have to go looking for an even bigger place. And what you'll find happening is that you'll run into that needle in a haystack certain person who is just phenomenal at selling this stuff. And in my case, it's Mel. And Mel is just absolutely amazing. I mean, we've had 8 sign-ups in the last 4 days. I check my back office every morning, and there's somebody I don't know signed up under me. And a lot of people will say to me, oh, I don't want the money. I just want to help people. Well, you know what? You're being a sucker because somebody's getting that money. And if you're going to run around telling people about this and you're going to spend time on the phone with them, telling them how to take the product and help them get their health back, you should be compensated. And that's why this was set up. Furthermore, the only way you're going to make any money with Youngevity is if you help a bunch of people and they get their health back. It's really that simple. So, Sue, get the DVDs, look around your hometown, find a little artsy coffee shop or whatever, and tell them, I just want to set up a meeting on one evening, once a week, where I can teach people how to get their health back without drugs and surgery. And chances are they'll really like the idea because not only are they into that as well, most people are, but people are in their coffee shop buying coffee and stuff, right?
Right.
So,
now, do they charge you for the little room in the back, or do you just...
No, they didn't charge me at all. We didn't have a room in the back. We just set up right in the coffee shop where all the tables are.
Cool. Now, did they stay open after hours, or you did it during hours?
No, she actually stayed open 2 hours later just to do this and advertised it.
Wow.
And, so it's great. And then, I went and looked for a place and I found one that I could rent for like $20 a night, which is nothing, and everybody kind of throws $1 in a coffee cup kind of a deal. So it's always covered.
Right.
And so as a result, people in my community are getting their health back and they have a place to go where they can have their questions addressed. Now, also, Sue, are you in Dr. Glidden's downline?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I am or not, actually. How do you know?
Well, you could call Youngevity and find out. You could go about it that way. But, another really great idea is to just take the initiative and have Dr. Wallach come to your town.
You know what? He was just in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I met him for the first time last Tuesday night.
He's a pretty cool guy, isn't he? I hung out with him for about 4 days here in October. Yeah. And the guy is 76. We did a television interview here in the town that I'm in, me and him. And then we drove to Edmonton. He had about 5 minutes before his radio show started. He did 3 hours of radio. Then I went and knocked on his door, and I said, do you need to take a nap or do you want to go out and do stuff? And he says, we got wars to win, Mike. 76 years old. All right, so, Sue, I hear the music. We're going to let you go. Thanks for that great call. I hope you do well. Mike Phillips filling in for Dr. Peter Glidden, second hour. Coming up after this hard break, we're going to talk to Celeste.